He goes into the history books as the youngest ever winner at 16 years old.
I didn't expect to do so well today or this weekend. It's a really huge achievement for me, and I don't think it's hit me yet properly. So yeah, I'm so happy with what I've done so far.
Parting ways with Sherpa is bittersweet for me. I'm immensely grateful for the incredible journey that they've taken me on, traveling the world, doing what I love. We had different visions for the future and we decided to part ways. I respect them as a brand and as a team, and I wish them all the best for the future.
Super happy. Finished second in the World Championship from January. Didn't even know if we had a ride or not. So up and down here, but pretty stoked to finish second in the World Championship.
All right, Wade Young, what's up, bro? Welcome to the World Hard Enduro podcast. Firstly, there is congratulations that I need to share with you for an absolute incredible season, coming second in the 2024 Hard Enduro World Championship. Man, that's an awesome accomplishment.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's my first time on your guys' podcast. It's growing really fast and really good. You guys got some awesome questions and content, so yeah, it's good to be here on your guys' podcast.
Cool. So you've been racing off-road motorcycles now for years. What are some of the memories that you hold fondly of, like, the good old days of racing? Back when it was Brother Leader Trade KTM, or even back on Yamaha Junior Nationals, besides Roof of Africa, because we know for sure at 16 years old winning the Roof, that was a feat in itself. But besides that, what are some fun memories that you miss from, like, the good old days?
I think just the pure fun, you know. I remember our racing in South Africa, just for the people that aren't around, didn't grow up here. Our racing was very big. We had numbers. We had like 30 guys, 40 guys in each class, and junior 85, senior 85s. And I think just going on a race weekend, hang out with friends that you met from all sorts of different backgrounds. You know, you had the guys from up north that are big farmers. They're Afrikaans, they're rough, and well, I would say rough, they're just super tough. No shoes in the frost in the morning. And then, yeah, you just had a whole bunch of different guys from different backgrounds, and we all had the same passion with riding bikes. You come the weekend, it's a whole weekend experience. You race, you spend the night after, you have a prize giving. So it was a very cool atmosphere and something very different to your little group at home, should I say, you know, your school friends and that. So I think just the fun memories of racing against friends and coming in after and chatting to them, and just no pressure, just having good fun.
Yeah, I can completely relate with that. Like almost an extended family that you see once a month at every other national that you get to travel and meet up with, as you said. And then at what point did you choose to double down on hard enduro? Because again, as you said, for those of you that are listening that aren't aware of how the junior nationals and the South African off-road nationals went, it's quite fast racing. I mean, we were hooking it on 85, 125s, 250s. At what point were you like, okay, it's time to go full on into hard enduro now, or at that point, extreme enduro?
Yeah, exactly like you said, our races were fast. So growing up, always the vision was to go and race and like enduro GP style kind of racing, you know, that kind of related more to how we were racing back home. But we then have the iconic race, the Roof of Africa, that's a landlocked country in South Africa. And that's one of the longest standing hard enduro races of the world. So you could only race that race when you're 16. And every South African, that's like the biggest race. You have international riders coming out. So we automatically had our enduro championship. And then at the end of the year, we had the Roof of Africa. that everyone was a big hype and everyone went and did. The roof is also recently only just become a hard enduro. Before, I'm not sure exactly the years, but it was previously a rally format race where they covered thousands, well, I think 1,000 kilometers through the Lesotho Mountains. So that's pretty much it was, okay, cool, let's go race Enduro GP. And then I got to that age where, okay, we like 15 now, and next year you can do the roof. So when I was 15, I went up the year and I watched the race. I remember I actually took my bike as well. I followed a big Letty, Andreas Lettenbittler, which is Manny's dad. I think he was on a BM, or he had just gone over to the old Husqvarna, the old Husqvarna
The old
was the
Husky, yes.
red one. I actually followed him a little bit in the race, and I was young. I was like more there for the jaw. I remember I was like hanging on the mountains. My dad was getting frustrated because I wasn't focusing and actually checking the track. Well, checking how the races and how everything goes. And then came back. It's the following year in 2012 and competed in it and had a great result, as everyone knows. And then I had the opportunity to say, hey, you've won the roof. Husqvarna said, it was actually Huseberg at the time, said, hey, we got a bike for you at Romaniacs, we got a bike for you at Erzberg, we have a bike for you at Tough One, which is a race in England. And that's just pretty much got a foot in the door after roof, and Red Bull came on board as well. And then we started in hard enduro. I'm actually a lot happier that I went the way we did in going hard enduro rather than enduro GP. I think one, it suits me, but also just like the mental challenge, it's so there's one of trying to go fast and then reaching your limit, and then there's another one riding super gnarly terrain and being like, I don't know if I can get up here. And then to points where I'm just so tired, I don't think I can carry on. So all those things, and then you cross the finish line, it really makes it feel a lot more special.
Yeah, I can completely agree with you. I think that the sport is just so underrated for that reason exactly. With Enduro GP, they've got live broadcasts going out, or, you can see what's happening in special tests and what's going on in the races. With hard enduro, it's a little bit more difficult for spectators to see that. So the constant struggle that riders are facing, pretty much every obstacle is, it's such a mental and personal battle that you have with yourself out inside the mountains. You're constantly talking to yourself, trying to, convince yourself that you can actually do this, that you can make it up this section. And I don't know, I guess you still surprise yourself in some way that you get up a section that you didn't think that you could get up. And then you're like, whoa, I actually got that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what also makes it it's just it's very rewarding, if I can say. It can be very in the opposite, unrewarding, but like you say, like cleaning steps, passing guys, and getting that flow, and just like getting super dialed in with the bike. It's really a special feeling.
We see a lot of the top hard enduro riders. I mean, you one of them for sure, but like Letty, Billy, Mario, all these guys have some trials bike background. And I'm sure this question's been asked before, but have you ever tried to get onto a trials bike to get some more trial skills, or do you focus purely on just getting that on the enduro bike and riding in the hills?
So I have done a bit of riding on the trials bike. I've found it more beneficial for me to ride the enduro bike, like in trials kind of sections, and practice steps and that. And I find that I get more gain out of that than riding a trials bike. I'm not against it. I think it's good. I think there's a lot of qualities that help a lot, and especially in your younger years, I think it's quite a thing. For me, I'm world class on an enduro bike, but when I jump on a trials bike, I'm pretty shit, to be honest. So
Mm.
I can do way more on my enduro bike than what I can do on my trials bike. So look, I do play on it, and I do think there's positive, but I don't do too much of it. No.
Yeah. I think that the trials bike is a completely different machine, a different animal. As you said, I've also recently tried to ride a trials bike, and I couldn't do it properly, man. I was messing up on pretty much everything. I could do most things on the enduro bike, but getting on the trials bike, I was like, nah, this is a complete foreign thing. But I think you're completely right by saying that in the formative years of riding off-road bikes, I think that the trials bike then makes sense, learning clutch control, balance, just weighting the motorcycle correctly to get up sections, and then transferring that onto the bigger bikes at a later stage. But I would like to also talk, so it's 2024, we've wrapped up the season in second position. It still blows my mind. But we started the year with almost no ride. Like, talk us through that, like how you went from Sherco to being a privateer to coming like second in the championship. And then if you're allowed to, share some more insights on like actually what happened with Sherco, that that you got left at the start of the year so early, like right before the season's about to begin. Usually that gets there's a little bit of time involved there that you can use to set up what your next year is going to look like.
Yeah, 100% that. I came into the year literally with just Red Bull. They've been really good, help guide me, and where they can help and assist, they've been there. So yeah, it was a challenging year. It was a surprise that, look, with respect to the brand, they've got me to where I am today, and the foundation of my career is built off Sherco. So I have a lot of respect for them for that. But yeah, coming into 2024, I was actually still under contract to race for Sherco. I had a contract for this year. There was a shift in management ownership amongst the family, and then they restructured a lot of things, and I was part of the budget cut. And yeah, they gave me notice. In my contract, there's a 2-month notice clause, which they did. They gave me 2 months. And then just before the end of the 2-month period, they said, no, we changed our minds. Let's have a meeting and see how we can put something together. Yeah, that's just how it went. And yeah, then coming into January, I kind of saw and got told then, why should we be there for the meeting when we don't have a contract in place? So we got the ball rolling. At the end of the day, this is all just it's a big business. The goal is for them to sell as many bikes as they can, and that's how I looked at it. I didn't take it personally. We all got our interests at heart, and we're all trying to do the best. So once I kind of realized where everything's at, me and Ross, our manager, got things rolling, and just started making calls and plans and seeing how we can make it work. And when from having that moment, having nothing, to what I ended up with, I felt like it went really good. Gas came on board. I'm riding the bike that I wanted to ride, and I managed to get good suspension from WP guys. They came on board and got that. And within a week, I had a big company in South Africa called Leader Tread. They retread tires. They actually manufacture the rubber for the retreading tires for trucks. They came on board. They put a deal for me super quick, and made it possible. Another company in South Africa, Trademore, it's a petroleum company. they came on board. They covered all my expenses to travel to all my flights to travel to Europe to the races. So, um, yeah, just people really came together, and all budgets are normally done in the year before in October, November at the latest. So, yeah, just a lot of good people in South Africa that are super passionate, and the guys in Austria gave me the bike and materials, and yeah, we got the seasons in Zona Paddock is in Spain. They handled all my transport and logistics to the races, made sure that my accommodation, the schedules, and I was at every place that I needed to be on time, and that was also like a little family there themselves. So um, yeah, it's hard to imagine something when there isn't anything, but in hindsight, I had everything that I needed, and um, I didn't feel any less factory, and I never felt that. Only in January at the first race in UK, I did quite a bit of work on my bike myself and getting it ready. Um, but I don't think it was January, but in April, whenever the season started. But yeah, I never felt like I was at a massive disadvantage at all the whole year.
To be honest, from the outside looking in, just from like social media and stuff, it almost seems like you were happier this season than you've ever been before. Like you get to stay at home in South Africa, you get to train with your mates, you get to stay with your dad and be around family and spend holidays and birthdays with everyone. And yeah, I definitely think from what we saw as from someone looking from the outside in, it looked like you were happier. It looked like you had a happier season, and pretty much it was clear in the results, that that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Sherco was good, but I think also just from different backgrounds, and we bumped heads. It's in visions and how we'd like to test things and develop and go forward, and yeah, just sometimes change is good, and at the end of the day, it was meant to be. I believe everything happens for a reason, um, and that's what it was. It was change. They had a fresh start. They brought in a new rider, new opportunity there. And for me, it was exactly the same. A lot of people say, "Am I angry at Theodore for him coming in and taking my spot?" No, I'm not at all. He rode good the year before. He's been working hard, and yeah, he was the next guy in line to come in and get it right. So it wasn't him. He's doing his thing. So from that respect, there was no hard feelings in that. My outlook on all of this is it's all a big business. At the end of the day, everyone wants to maximize their profits, and I think as a rider, if you can also understand that, it helps position yourself and meet their needs for selling bikes.
Good point for the younger generation coming up, right? That it is a big business. Your results do count, that's for sure. But yeah, you need to, at the end of the day, help them sell more bikes, more product for the sponsors out there, and create more lights for those sponsors, more ROI for those bigger businesses and brands. But I think that the way that everything turned out, looking back at the season, is actually, I think there was no loss for anyone. Theodore taking the position in Sherco, he got his first factory ride, and you're right, he did have a fantastic season. He is been performing and riding and training well. You got a second place inside the championship, which is amazing, on a factory team, which you seem to be happy your own team, but you seem to be happy with. And yeah, I think it was a win all around for most of the players in the party. I wanted to ask you, setting up your own team, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced, now having to figure out how to manage your own team?
So the biggest thing that changed from last year to this year was just kind of managing the bike. So I got a lot of
Okay.
parts and stuff from Gas Gas. Gas Gas Austria, and Zona Paddock were looking after me at the races. So the hardest thing for me was managing what parts, spare parts I would need at the race, and you know, just managing between actually through Fabio. It's the Fabio Faroli is the representative of Gas and Hard Enduro. Managing with him what parts I need to give to my team at Zona Paddock, and just making sure if something did go wrong that I had different front brake caliper, for example, or I had enough wheels for the race. So logistically, that was the hardest part, and we had to arrange the bike for Turkey, and Enduro Life gave us a bike there. So just,
Sure.
you know, I think I've been in the industry so long that everyone's like quite closely connected. So everything's just a phone call and you know who to call. So it was just a couple of more phone calls and planning, instead of everything getting planned and sorted from in one location. That was probably
Yeah.
the hardest part.
I'm just saying, I know that the industry is in a tough situation at the moment. You know, bike sales aren't as great as what they once were. So there has been these massive budget cuts. But for sure, like, there's no reason why I think that you shouldn't be the factory rider for Gas in the future, right? I think that it like makes so much sense for you to be on the Gas side of that, the Austrian brand, you know, the Peer Mobility Group, KTM AG Group. Yeah, I really hope that is something, and if that's what you want, you know, in the future, because if your program doesn't change but you get full factory support, I mean, you know, you can go for the W then.
Yeah, for sure. I think the goal is always to be on a factory team. But yet again, like you said, the market's not in a power position, and it is what it is. I've done the best that I can, and I am grateful for what we have. The sport, like you said in the beginning, it's very hard to capture our sport and how it gets portrayed on the internet. So that doesn't hold value in, you know, in the media side of things to showcase our sport. So yeah, that also just not as many people are watching and involved in the sport. And sorry, I just lost track. There was someone coming in, yeah, but
Yeah, no,
all
so
good.
we could, yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to be on a factory team, but how it is now, I'm super content, and we can still battle up front how we are.
What is it going to take you to step this up one more? I mean, you only got one more step on the podium to go. What is it going to take to step it up and give Manny a run for his money for the 2025 Hard Enduro World Championship? It seems like, yeah, he's just the guy to beat at the moment. Billy's looking like he's on fire, coming back from injury. The guys, the Brightmore brothers, are coming up really fast and quick. And then there's just Graham Jarvis, which for me is just astonishing what this guy is still doing on this motorcycle as the silent assassin, just, you know, absolutely picking guys off at the end of the race, 50 years old, and he's coming on strong at the end of a 6-hour race. It's quite remarkable. So yeah, the question is, what do you have to do in your own mind for the 25 season to take that next step?
Yeah, good question. I think that I feel like there's a lot of potential in the bike still, a lot of room to improve and get better with me. So yeah, just I'm going to focus on those points. I'm going to change a few things up. I'm going to try some different stuff, but I believe that I'm closing in and getting better. I'm getting more dialed in on the bike. We're training hard. I'm living in a place called Hilton in South Africa. I ride from my house, so the setup's good. And I also felt that we got better and better towards the end of the season. Maybe not the best result at Sea to Sky. But yeah, I just need to bring a bit more consistency to the championship. And I definitely believe we can give Manny a run next year, or if maybe not beat, but be there for sure.
It's quite interesting. In that media press conference debrief with Manny, he was saying that you said to him, like, I'm coming for you. And his response was like, yeah, I'm waiting, come. It's time for us to battle. So, yeah, it's pretty cool to see that rivalry go between you guys.
Yeah, you're right. I said we're walking the track at Expand. I said next year. I said maybe not this weekend, but next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's right. He's like, yeah, come. He's been up there too long. He's got too much confidence. So, he's definitely. It's one thing winning a world championship, and then I don't know if it's 3 or 4. Is it 3?
It's 3 FIMs and then 1 WES. So if 4 world championships, but under FIM it was 3. Yeah.
I think under FIM because I think in 2018 I would have won that year with WES, but because Sherco and them. But yeah, for sure, Manny is he's consistently improved as well, and he's done something special already. So it would definitely be a big achievement to get there and to race amongst them up front. I'm looking forward to next year already.
Yeah, us as well. I think it's going to be a phenomenal year. I want to touch one question back, though, just on the bike. So you said that you want to work a lot on the bike this year or in the off-season, try and get that all set up and dialed for 2025. What have been the biggest differences between the Sherco and the Gas in regards to setup and also feeling for you?
Yeah, the bikes are very, very different. I'm just going to say that I feel like the Gas suits my riding style and my posture on the bike. I use less energy. I'm quite tall. I'm 184. So I'm just enjoying it more. I'm happy. I'm enjoying my riding. I feel like there's room to grow. And I'm more comfortable on the Gas.
Cool. I think that's and we see it as well in our comments as well on our Facebook page and Instagram page. A lot of people have been commenting that you look a lot more comfortable on the bike and you just seem to be fitting it a little bit better, which is really cool to see and hear. But I want to move on to your training platform. So you have a training platform called 55 Hard Enduro. It's recently, I think it's not even a year old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we actually haven't launched. We haven't gone live yet. We are doing the handover today, and we plan to go live within a week from now. The whole idea with the 55 training hard enduro training program is just nowadays we have access to so much information on the internet, and you kind of get lost in what's right, what should I be doing, what shouldn't I be doing. Our goal with it is from being at the top of our game to fast track everyone's riding, everything in and around riding. Just I find that the biggest thing that people struggle with is that they just don't know, the lack of information. For example, setting up a bike. How do you set up a bike for hard enduro? What kind of tires do you run? What kind of tire pressure do you run? What gearing do you run? I get asked that a lot. What gearing are you running on your bike? This is one place where the information is coming from a good source. Will tell you how to set up your bike. Will tell you how to train. Not necessarily will teach you how to do skills, but also how to structure your riding. If you want to go and compete in gold Romaniacs, or let's say silver Romaniacs, we'll tell you like what you need to do, what kind of training program you need to do, give you exercises. We give guys programs, a weekly program. It's a general program, but we'll head you in the right direction, and also going into the race, making sure you've got everything. We give you a checklist, like what you need in your bum bag, what tools you need strapped to your bike. We're just trying to cover everything from A to Z. You come to us and we'll get you better a lot faster. We'll teach you riding techniques. We do that as well. mindset going into a race, how to control your nerves, how to put yourself in the power seat, going into a race where you can actually go out there and not let nerves get the better of you. Just go and actually have fun and achieve your best result.
It sounds like an awesome platform. It sounds like an awesome way for, as you said, to grow your riding. And it's just I think you're learning from your mistakes that you've been doing for the last, or the mistakes that you have done and now have corrected and found the solution for. It's just basically putting all of that onto one place where a customer can then miss out on all the mistakes that you've once made and being like, okay, that's how I do it, so let me follow that, which I think is really cool. When is it planning to go live? I know that you can get a 1 month subscription free, and then after that I think it's a monthly subscription of $70, if I'm not mistaken.
No, so it's it depends how you describe up. There's 1 month plans, which is $70 a month, but if you do a full year plan, it's $25 a month. And that's everything included. We will do also one-on-one plans. People just need to message us privately, drop us an email, and then we can set up one-on-one training programs where we'll be able to have video calls. Obviously, there's limited spaces on that, and we'll build a custom training plan to your goals and targets that you have set out for the year, or whatever your needs are. We can custom and build and make sure you achieve your best results as possible.
Yeah, guys that are listening, guys and girls that are listening, don't sleep on this. I think that's going to be super awesome to have Wade Young, the man himself, actually helping you get better in your hard enduro online. It's super interactive, I presume. So yeah, that's really cool, and guys should not sleep on that. But we're coming to the end of our episode. Wade, I want to ask you just some quick fire questions from this last year that we just had. What was your favorite race and why?
I think still my favorite race is Erzberg. I think just the hype, the vibe. The race is short, it's super intense. You sit on the start line with 50 guys on the line. It's gnarly. It's like the unknown is super gnarly. Like, you don't know if you're going to get a good start. You don't know if the guys are going to jump the start. You don't know how it's going to be. So just that, and making your way through the pack, and the race is short enough that you're tired. Is long enough that you're tired, but short enough that the body's not cramping and you're not aching for being on the bike for 7-8 hours. So Erzberg's probably still my favorite.
And what is the worst race from the season for you?
Oh, worst race. Yeah, I'm going to say the first race of the season, not with anything to do with the event. It's just I went in there with just my bike setup was the first race of the year. And my bike setup was not where it should have been, and I just struggled a lot with arm pump and felt like I couldn't push on the race. So I think that's just from my side the worst race of the year.
Yeah. Okay, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I just want to end with lastly saying that also, if Erzberg is your favorite race, we need to see you tackle Alfie from being the only other South African taking a victory at this race. So 2025, let's go. Let's make that happen. For the listeners that are tuning in, 1995, the first time that the Erzberg ever happened, Alfie Cox, a South African legend, took the W there, took the win there. So, and he's the last guy from South Africa to do that. So yeah, we're rooting for you, Wade, to take that in 2025.
Yeah, awesome. Sure. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, cool. And that pretty much wraps up this pod. If you want to get in touch with Wade and just want to see his progress, follow him on Wade Young on Instagram. I think you have Facebook page and all pretty much social medias, so you can follow him on that. And also, guys, don't get caught sleeping on the 55 Hard Enduro training platform. I think that's going to be an awesome value add. But yeah, thanks, Wade, for coming on to the pod, and I hope to see you at the start of the season next year.